All right,
Hey guys, it's Kristen and Katie. We're editors from Behind the Chair, and we are at the PHYTO Academy in New York today with Orlando Pita.
and Orlando is known as a legend backstage at Fashion Week, so we figured this would be a good time to ask him all about what it's like to work backstage, what he looks for in an assistant, what a typical day is like, all that stuff. And if you guys have questions, write in and we will ask your questions to him as well. Here we go. Hey Orlando.
Hello everyone.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Thanks, we're good. Alrighty, so we're just going to ask you some questions about Fashion Week and what it's kind of like to work backstage.
Yeah, so what's a typical day like backstage?
It's mayhem, it's chaotic, you have to have your finger on a lot of different pulses. You have to look at your assistants and see how they're working at the same time that you're doing interviews, at the same time that you might be doing a hairstyle as well. And it's a live performance. It has to go on time. And you can't be the reason why it's late. So the important thing, I think, is to try to get as many girls to come on time as you can. And then the editors don't really start coming in until about an hour and a half that you're into it. So if you can get as many girls as you can in the beginning, you're gonna then give yourself a little bit of help there. But otherwise, I love the adrenaline, I love the speed, I love all the manicness, I love everything about it. I mean, and you have to like that. If you are somebody that likes order and everything in the right place and everything carefully done, forget it.
So we're getting a lot of questions about assistants. What do you look for in an assistant and how do you train them?
I look for in an assistant variety. So I look at, usually they put a book of work together, a portfolio, and I look for straight hair, messy hair, updo, braids, glamour waves. I look for a variety of things because I do a variety of hairstyles. And then the hairstyle I can always teach. And then I look for a desire, a hunger to learn, to be a hairdresser and to not let your ego get in the way. Because no matter what I've done, I don't play the ego games, so I can't have anybody on the team think that they're a major person because they're a good hairdresser.
Okay, and we also had a question come in. How do you come up with the looks and how much freedom do you have to create the hair looks?
Coming up with the looks is really a collaborative effort. If I am nowhere today if I didn't have designers and editors and makeup artists to feed off of. So the designer will start me thinking of what they were thinking for the collection, and the editor or stylist will tell me what they were thinking, and then I put in my 2 cents and hopefully give it a signature that is recognizable as my work. But that's how it is. I mean, you kind of work differently with each designer, but you want to get as much input as you can from everybody else because that helps you to do a better job.
Awesome. Same theme questions here. Everybody wants to know who trained you and who was your mentor.
Nobody trained me. Unfortunately, I had nobody to call to ask. I started cutting hair when I was 14, and so everything I've learned by making a mistake first. And then when I started in fashion at 21, I was faking it until I made it, and which is kind of what you have to do in hairdressing anyway. You learn by experience and by time. And never be afraid to take a risk. And some of my mistakes then became my hairstyles. So there's never really a mistake. You can always turn it into something good. So my mentor was probably a guy named Ara Gallant. He worked a lot with Richard Avedon. He's not with us anymore, but he was the same like me. You couldn't typecast him. He did Dynel wigs, he did braids, he did beautiful, bourgeois sets, and so he had a variety of work. He was my mentor.
And now people want to know how they submit their portfolio.
Well, my agency is Art and Commerce, and artandcommerce.com as well. And you can submit your work to the hair agent there, which is Tara Collins.
All right. Okay, we may be back later, so stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Orlando.
Thanks.